Good evening. It is July 11th, 2016. This morning I had not a sleep in. I got up really early and got on the bus to go, first to the Retimno bus station, and then from there I caught another bus to Hanya, which is more in the west-ish side of Crete. And Hanya is my third Venetian town or city that I have been to in Greece. I walked around the old town, and I walked around the port, and I checked out some buildings from ages ago. And I hung out down by the water. What else did I do? Oh, I was going to go check out a little synagogue, but it's some sort of important Jewish holiday apparently because it was closed, and there was a little sign on the front saying, "So sorry, but come back tomorrow." But I'm not coming back tomorrow. So I only stayed in Hanya for less than 3 hours. Like, it was enough to kind of arrive, and it's a very compact, tiny little town. So I feel like I wandered up and down most of the streets, and I saw most of what I could have seen, and it was like so much of the Greek islands is so incredibly touristy. Like, I do feel like without a lot of these places just wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the hordes of tourists that come in, I assume, every summer. Because it is just non-stop. Like, most of the places in Hanya were selling souvenir type things, like fridge magnets and keychains, and even like the marketplaces were still all geared towards tourism. So I left, must have been around 1 o'clock, and then I went here to Stalida, which is close enough to Malia, and that is on mostly the other side of the island. So I had to go back through Retimno and then through Iraklio, which is where I had originally got my boat ticket for, and then it was pretty cool. Like, even though I was only sort of in and out on the bus, it looked pretty cool. So I am hoping to spend a little bit longer there than maybe I had anticipated. But I think like at least probably a day and a half is what I'm aiming for in Iraklio. But this place that I'm at now, so I saw it come up for €20 a night, which is like bargain basement prices. And it has a pool, it's right next to the beach, it has my own balcony with a sea view. It is really nice and big. It's got a kitchenette. It's so lovely, and I'm not too sure why it's so cheap, but I try not to ask these sorts of questions. So I got here around, it felt like early evening, because it was dinner time. I remember that. Like, I was ready for some food, and so I checked in, and then I went and grabbed some food from the supermarket, and drinks from the supermarket, stocking up on water, and then I went to a little takeaway place and got a Greek salad, and I got a hamburger. I know that sounds crazy. For me, it sounded crazy in Greece. When I was ordering, I was like, what am I doing? But then later on, when I brought it back to the apartment here, sometimes I can't help myself when it comes to Western food. Like, being in China for so long, if there's something that's Western that comes up, I'm like, oh, that's what I want. I want a hamburger because it's right there on the menu, and that's not something that I can really easily get in Chongqing. So I found myself ordering a hamburger, and it was really good. Like, it was different than, say, a North American hamburger or a New Zealand hamburger. It was yummy. And I had all that sitting out on my balcony, looking out at the beautiful view. And, yeah, it's like I have that feeling of I have arrived. So I have this place booked for 2 nights. I can make it a third, I think, if I want to, depending on how much time I want to spend in Heraclio, which is about an hour away. And it just feels like having 2 nights, it just feels almost crazy for me, like actually staying in a place for 2 nights in a row. And I have all my stuff just scattered everywhere. And I know that I'm not going to have to pack it up early tomorrow morning or anything. It's just lovely. And the fact that it's so cheap and like prime location as far as I'm concerned, and it's still like quiet. It's not in some sort of nightclubby area. It's like, I don't know, there's families and people that are just slightly more, probably older people as well, like families and older people, which suits me really well for the quiet-ish, kind of laid-back, beachy place that I was hoping for. So that's pretty much going to be it for tomorrow. Like, it probably when I do another post tomorrow night, you will probably hear me say, I went for a swim in the pool, and I went down to the beach and swam in that, and then I did that a few more times, and then I ate some food, and I fell asleep, and I did some reading, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think I mentioned earlier about how there's some, is it Knossos? The Minoan center of civil. It was like where, what is it? It's the founding city of civilization in Europe. It's the Minoan civilization, and this is, I'm probably just going to pull numbers out of the air here, but I think it was like 4000 BC or something that these people had a palace all built, and so that's what I would like to go check out, at least at some point, whether it's tomorrow or the next day or whenever. It would be nice to just go check it out for a half day. But that's really, like, aside from beach, pool, napping, and maybe some reading, those are the only things on my want to do wish list over the next few days. Sleeping in late, going to bed early, eating lots of food. These are the things that I am completely ready for after it has been more than 2 weeks that I have been traveling, and it actually is starting to feel like a lot longer than that. It feels like it has been a long, long time since I was in Chongqing. And I have a feeling that when I get to Italy and travel around Italy a little bit, it'll feel like an entire lifetime away. The weather remains beautiful and perfect, and I haven't even looked at a forecast because it's pretty much every day it's the same. It's sunny and hot and lovely. Nothing else that I really needed to say tonight. No really crazy stories today. I don't think there was too much chaos. No, it was another lovely day. Another lovely day. Alright, good night.